In the heart of ancient Africa, nestled among great forests and rolling hills, was the village of Kumola. This village was famous for its rich culture and deep traditions. The people of Kumola lived in harmony, following the ways of their ancestors. One of the most important traditions involved the river Zuri, which flowed through the village like a silver ribbon. The river was sacred to the people of Kumola. For generations, they had used only calabashes to fetch its water. This rule was set by the first elders, who believed the river spirits had told them to do so. The calabash was a symbol of purity and humility, connecting the villagers to their heritage and to each other. There were also strict times for fetching water, only at dawn and dusk. These times were considered special because the river was believed to be at its purest then. No one was allowed to fetch water at noon or 3 in the afternoon, as these times were when the river spirits rested, and disturbing them would bring bad luck. King Kamara, the wise and kind ruler of Kumola, made sure these traditions were always respected. He was a man of great wisdom, his eyes full of knowledge from many seasons, and he kept the village peaceful and prosperous. There was a beautiful girl that the villagers had belittled. She was an orphan and stayed very close to the river. One peaceful morning, as the sun began to rise, she got ready to fetch water. Known for her curiosity and energy, Amina loved the old stories her grandmother had told her under the big baobab tree, and dreamt of having adventures that would make her ancestors proud. As she was about to fetch water, a group of maidens approached and told her to leave. She pleaded with them, but they refused and sent her away disrespectfully. She had wanted to carry water for a pregnant woman she was serving, but they prevented her from doing so. Determined to serve the pregnant woman, she decided to fetch water at the forbidden time of 12 p.m., knowing the river would be deserted. Despite the risks, her priority was to help the expectant mother. She ventured to the river without a calabash, and upon arrival, found the area shrouded in darkness. Fear gripped her as she sensed the presence of a goddess by the riverbank, but the thoughts of the dying pregnant woman gave her courage. Quickly, she filled her bucket with water and hurried back to the woman in need. Amina knew that fetching water at the forbidden hour of 12 p.m. would change her fate forever. Despite the danger, she chose to serve a helpless pregnant woman. This decision led to severe consequences for her. News quickly spread through the village that Amina had gone to the forbidden river Zuri at midnight, and without using the traditional calabash. When the news reached the king, he was furious. He felt he had failed his ancestors and decreed that the person responsible must be severely punished, even if it meant death. The king's messengers found Amina, who was frightened but resolute. Remembering how she had helped the pregnant woman, she thought, "If I am punished for serving a helpless woman, so be it." My intention was never to defy our traditions. With these thoughts, she went to the palace. At the palace, the king sat on his throne, surrounded by elders. He questioned Amina harshly. Why did you go to the river at the forbidden time? Why did you not use the calabash? Have you forgotten our traditions? Amina replied respectfully, My king, may you live long. I know our customs, but I was desperate. My only thought was to help a helpless pregnant woman. I am sorry. The king, still angry, said, Do you know the consequences?
More music on light music.
Amina answered, Yes, I do. The king then declared, Prepare to be sacrificed to appease the goddess. I cannot risk the lives of my subjects. Amina pleaded for mercy, but the king dismissed her. The pregnant woman then came to the palace, begging the king not to punish Amina. She acted out of compassion for me. You are the king. You have the power to show mercy. But the king ordered his guards to remove her. The pregnant woman cursed the king as she was forced out, saying, If what she did was wrong, the goddess would have reacted. Your heart is hard. Amina was heartbroken. If those maidens hadn't chased me away, I wouldn't be in this trouble, she cried. The woman looked at Amina helplessly before leaving. The next day, the king ordered his guards to bring Amina for the sacrifice. Dressed in white, she was killed and buried by the riverbank. Soon after, strange events began to occur. People were dying mysteriously, and the king's only son fell gravely ill. The king summoned all the priests, who told him that the calamities were due to the injustice he had done. They warned that he would lose his son if he did not make amends. The king asked what he needed to do. The priests told him he must seek forgiveness from the pregnant woman and at Amina's burial site. The king, humbled and desperate, embarked on the journey himself to find the woman. The search was arduous, taking 2 months filled with trials and temptations. Despite the challenges, the king remained steadfast, knowing he had wronged both the woman and Amina. When he finally found the woman, he was astonished to see Amina alive. He begged for their forgiveness and brought Amina back to the village. Miraculously, his son recovered and peace returned to the land. After everything was resolved, the king was overjoyed. He declared, I am very happy today. I have realized that doing good can never be wrong. He expressed his gratitude to Amina and told her she could ask for anything she desired and he would grant her request. Amina responded, My king, you are great, and history will remember you. You have given me more respect than I have ever received in my entire life. She happily hugged the king, and everyone rejoiced. They sang his praises, celebrating the king and the newfound peace in the village. From that moment, the queen was deeply impressed with Amina. When she looked at Amina, she knew she would make a wonderful daughter-in-law and could be the future queen of Kumola. The queen spoke to her son and said, I know you like Amina. The prince replied, Yes, mother. The queen smiled and said, It's okay. I approve of it. I like her very much. Please make her my daughter-in-law. The prince was overjoyed. He went to talk to Amina, confessing, Amina, I have always loved you, but for various reasons, I couldn't come to you sooner. Now, my mother has given her consent for us to be together. The prince knelt down and asked, Will you marry me, please? Amina, filled with emotion, responded, Yes, I love you too. At that moment, joy overwhelmed them both. The entire village celebrated their union, filled with happiness for the couple. The prince and Amina were finally married, and their wedding was a grand celebration. Everyone in the village rejoiced, sharing in their happiness. Amina, reflecting on the events, said, Truly, doing good brings good things. She and the prince began their new life together, living happily ever after. The story of their love and kindness spread throughout the land, inspiring others to believe in the power of goodness and love. As the years passed, the love between the prince and Amina grew stronger. Their kindness and compassion towards people brought prosperity and happiness to the kingdom of Kumola. They were beloved by all, and their story became a cherished tale told through generations. Amina often reflected on her journey, grateful for the queen's acceptance and the love she found with the prince. She believed deeply that doing good had led her to this life of happiness and fulfillment. The prince and Amina ruled wisely and justly, their union a symbol of hope and goodwill. They lived a long and joyous life together, always striving to make their kingdom a better place. And so, the legends of the prince and Amina, bound by love and the blessings of good deeds, lived on forever in the hearts of the people of Kumola.